All right, welcome back, guys, to the WCS Europe Premier League Season 3. We now have our second series of the night. It's going to be MVP going up against ShoWTimE. This is a big David and Goliath story.
MVP's back! Kaboom!
Kaboom.
He's back. And I'm excited for this, of course. The Season 1 champion is back to really make strides, to redeem himself from Season 2, where due to unfortunate conditions, whether it be his jet lag or just playing conditions, whatever it was a bit of everything, to be honest. It really upset him playing in Season 2. He arrived the night before, had to play the next morning, yada, 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 yada. He didn't perform well and didn't get out of the round of 16. But now he's back in Season 3. Bear in mind, he's playing from Korea, a hurdle that he passed with flying colours in Season 1.
Was he here for 2 as well? Was he in Korea for 2?
I think he was... Yes, he was, because he played against Teflon in the Series 2. So he's played in Korea a couple of times and did all right for himself.
Very right.
Also, he can do here today. But also, is it ShoWTimE?
Is it ShoWTimE?
Without a J, with a H.
Well, we'll see. I think it could be. It certainly could be. He's beaten some good Terrans in the past. But this is the biggest match ShoWTimE has ever played.
I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been climbing and climbing and climbing up. He's consistently top 16 in the Grandmaster ladder. But right now, he's playing MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say? He's about to play MVP. He tweeted out earlier on, a couple of times actually. He tweeted when he first got announced, the groups got announced, saying, oh God, I've got to play MVP first. And he was a little bit, of course, shocked by that. He's playing against a Season 1 champion. And then he tweeted on today saying it's going to take a miracle to get out of this group, but he'll give it his best, which is the best attitude you can have.
Yeah, certainly so. Derelict Watcher will be our first map. Fully enough, Frost snuck through the elimination process, but it is map number 3. So unless we see a 2-1, we will not be seeing Frost just yet. But now everyone's loading up into game number 1. And we'll see if we can actually have a little bit of an upset once again, which normally happens in WCS Europe.
It happens a lot.
All right, so let's jump into game number 1, as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner here as our red Protoss representing Germany and ESC Icy Box. It is ShoWTimE. And up to the top right, so we have Season 1 champion representing Korea and Incredible Miracle. He is MVP.
I mean, what do we need to say about MVP? I am Jürgen. Of course, the Season 1 German player, the representative in the season finals. He was the only player that came very, very close in the Season 1 finals, bear in mind, to beat Innovation in the semi-finals. In a Terran vs. Terran mirror that went the distance. He went the distance. It was 3 games to 2 that he lost by. Very, very close. And he did represent well, gaining himself 3,000 points just over Season 1.
Yeah.
And he's actually got like 3,200 points because he messed up in Season 2.
Click of the fingers there, dope. And, well, MVP certainly looking to improve on his performances from Season 2. There's no way, after seeing his friend MC in Season 1 gain that finalist spot and then tweet out a million tweets about how he was going to be the first player to break 400k and be MVP. There's no way MVP is going to let go of that. So he wants those points. He wants the money. He wants it all, man.
Of course, man. In the Europe Premier League, there's $100,000 on the line to play for everybody. And that's a lot of money, including the 10,000 WCS points that are on share. First place picks up $20,000. So, of course, MVP would like that in his back pocket, of course. Yeah. But we'll see what he's going to bring to the table today. Can the 19-year-old ShoWTimE from Germany do it? If he was to be able to make it to the round of 16 and advance from this group, I think that we could call that maybe the biggest upset so far, even over losing Naniwa and Tila in Group A and Group B.
Most definitely here. ShoWTimE is such a relative unknown on the international scene that he has only played his WCS games, his official season games, across the whole WCS system. Other than that, he only plays EPS and maybe some online cups. And so he has, what, like 6 series under his belt in the WCS system thus far? It's really not much.
Not much at all, but the players that he beat to get into the Premier League were quite surprising, because we talked about Targa, who made his way through Group A, ShoWTimE beat him 2-1 on the way to Premier League. He also beat the former Zenith player, San, as well. So those are two pretty big name players that ShoWTimE beat to get himself into Premier League. And so far, I mean, if he could continue that trend into the Premier League, his debut, first time playing here, it would be magical. I guess that's the best word to describe it, really.
For me, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, that a Protoss player from Germany was able to beat a player like San, because the German scene right now is absolutely stacked with PvP. Massive. It's like the Protoss version of Australia, and wait, Australia was Zerg. So you get a lot of Protoss here, really good at the mirror matchup.
Yeah.
So it was very fortunate for. Imagine if ShoWTimE actually had a full Protoss group in the round 32. I think he would have done with flying colors.
Well, we'll see if he can advance from this group. It will be difficult as MVP poking out with a few Marines. Is getting pushed back by a Zealot and Stalker here as MVP tries to punish the Zealot. But the Marines do make it back to the bunker. 3 command centers from MVP, and I like his approach here.
Yep.
I really, really like his approach because MVP is a player that will rely on his mechanics, that will rely on just outpowering you. I don't think he's going to look at small details. He can't look at small details. He's playing from Korea. But if he just simply has 50 supply more than you at every point in the game, then he's just going to crush you.
Exactly.
He will crush you. He'll pull his SCVs. Maybe he'll drag a big box and pull away from storms, drag a big box of units and pull away from storms and try to hit some major timing. But MVP is going to look to power over ShoWTimE.
Yeah, and he's one of the few players that plays from Korea that can actually do this. We've seen it in Season 1 round of 32. We saw it in Season 2 round of 32. And now here, once again, in Season 3 round of 32, he's going to do exactly the same. He's not bothered about going for all the crazy aggression that all the Protoss from Korea are doing. He just wants to go for the straight macro focus. And interestingly enough, on ShoWTimE's side, did not go for the Forge before these 2 gateways. So playing a little more...
Well, the main reason he didn't add on the Forge here is because he did scout 1 barracks command center. If he'd scouted a refinery earlier on, I'm pretty sure he would have thrown down a Forge, because when you scout a refinery, the likelihood of factory, especially against MVP, MVP was the guy that built this strategy, going for the factory and the Widow Mines and Marines early on. So I definitely feel he would have gone for the Forge in that case, but upon seeing 1 barracks command center, he's like, all right, I'll skip the Forge, I'll go straight up to gateways. If he continues to skip the Forge, what does this mean? Does he potentially go for a 2-base all-in? He'll have to get the Forge eventually here.
Exactly.
He wants that +1 armor for his Zealots.
Well, he's getting the double gas here at the natural, and I think that did just get... Well, one of them got scouted out. So I guess maybe he wants to accrue a little bit of gas and maybe a bit more of his tech before he goes for the upgrades, but that will leave him in a bit of an odd spot.
Oh, nice scan there from MVP, seeing the additional gateways inside the main base there, seeing that there was no Forge thrown on, just kind of looking for what his opponent's up to, but looks quite normal so far. But the deviation's going to happen now. Look how much gas is up. And there it is, double Forge. That's a lot of gas incoming. So with the double Forge coming in, we will play a long game, or ShoWTimE's looking to play a much longer game.
Yeah.
And I feel this is the best approach against MVP. Going for an all-in, going for anything sneaky early on, I think's bad.
Yeah.
Because all it takes to beat an all-in is good scouting, star sense, which we've seen from MVP in the previous WCS seasons, and good solid defense, which MVP doesn't need latency problems to be able to deal with this.
No, indeed. I fully agree here. If ShoWTimE just gets up to his ideal composition eventually of, Colossi, High Templars, whatever he wants to throw into the mix, he could actually do a lot of damage to MVP if he prolongs the game and survives himself. But MVP, still, he's probably going to max out faster than almost anybody else.
Yes.
And then once that happens, it's up to ShoWTimE to really weather the storm.
Well, ShoWTimE went in with his Observer and saw the 3rd Nexus and immediately decided to throw down the 3rd, the command center, sorry, and throw down his 3rd Nexus. He's playing incredibly greedy, and MVP is going to spot this very, very fast there. I'm pretty sure he even saw the Observers see that, so he went to double check. So right now, ShoWTimE is playing off very little units. He's spending a lot of money on Colossus. He's going to have to get Thermal Lance. He's got 1-1 on the way. He'll have to throw down the Twilight Council very soon as well. So that's a lot of money being thrown away from units. Very, very, very low on units. Luckily for him, MVP did get a 3rd command center, which is why this can make sense a little bit, because he doesn't have the fastest of units out. Usually he'd be moving across the map with Medivacs by now and he'd be in trouble. So MVP has to throw down the double engineering bay to catch up and play on. But sure, MVP needs to do a bit of damage soon. Otherwise, ShoWTimE could actually walk away with this with a big advantage in the mid-game due to his setup.
Yeah, certainly so. He's going to have a lot of power behind it if he gets away with it. But MVP now flying over his third base, realizing, hey, you're going with Nexus there. There's nothing you can really do here to pressure this third base at this particular moment in time. Drops a scan on the natural, sees Colossus instantly. So he can prepare himself quite aptly for it.
But he sees the Twilight Council really early, and that may be confusing to him because I'm not sure if he's seen the double forge. I don't think he has. So seeing the Twilight Council may suggest to him that it was a Colossus play, one Colossus straight over to Templar tech. So that may be confusing for him. So he's got to be really careful with what he builds. If he doesn't build enough Vikings here, and he is still building Medivacs, he may get caught off guard.
He certainly may do. Blink is on the way here for ShoWTimE, and ShoWTimE's trying to trail some of this army with the Observer, trying to find a position to spot what's going on. He has an Observer also positioned down to the south, but now he knows exactly his opponent's positioning with this army, but as does MVP.
The Observer's just outside the range of that scan, slightly to the right of it, and MVP didn't get it.
That's a little bit of a shame there for MVP.
So the Observer sees this movement out there. Lucky move there by ShoWTimE.
Yep, can move his army into position to try and deny that where he can, and adding on more Colossi as well. But at the same time, MVP now starts that Viking count.
He's still on 3 gateways, Kalaris.
Whoa.
Only 3 gateways. He's now just adding on 2 more, but still 5. That's not a lot of units here. MVP definitely can exploit this, but not if ShoWTimE's in position like he is there. But MVP's going to come to the natural soon. It looks like he may drop inside the main base, and there's not a lot of units there. And only off 3 gateways, he probably can't even warp in to defend it.
Uh-oh, yeah. Actually, his army is not spread out as efficiently as he would need to deal with this, because spreading yourself across 3 bases is a very, very big gamble with this.
He hasn't seen this drop, but he's already moving into position. Oh, he spread his Colossus, one in the main and on the
Colossus. He could get the Colossus. He's going to go for it here. He tries to stim up, but at the same time, a lot of it does die off. Meanwhile, engagement's over in the third base as well. MVP here trying to drop where he can, but ShoWTimE cleans this up pretty well.
Yeah, MVP killed a couple of pros, but ShoWTimE is dealing with it. He's defending the main, defending the third beautifully, and now he's on 5 gateways. He's almost got 2-2 completed so early in this game. With Zealot Charge now coming in as well, this is pretty good for him. They're really good. With Blink coming down, the switch up to Templar Archives is on the way. All he needs now is additional gateways. Additional gateways, and he's absolutely beautifully set. And if he takes no damage from this point on, he's going to really power through.
Oh,
really,
he certainly
he's going to be so strong, man. He's really set up really nice. It's greedy build. It worked.
Yeah, it's 70 probes to 63 SCVs, and his upgrades are really flourishing right now. Ghosts are coming in, though. MVP realized, hey, you have quite a few Colossi here. Of course, I need my Vikings, but also you're trying to transition on, so I absolutely need my Ghosts to deal with your High Templars that are going to be on the way pretty soon here.
ShoWTimE really bringing a good game here. With 4 additional gateways coming in, he will put himself up to a total of 9. It's not the highest, but it's decent for now. He can definitely add on some more soon, but he can get 3-3. He's got his Templars coming in nice and early.
Stalkers actually are going to catch a few Vikings here, which is a fantastic pickup for him. I'm not quite sure how he figured out that was going on, but he got like 3 Vikings there.
He's just playing it very smartly. They're just moving through with Stalkers. They can always blink back. If he was to throw down additional gateways now and go for a 3-3 timing, forget Storm for now. I would maybe, it's a bit of a risk, but I would maybe forget it, man. I would focus on Archons and hit with 3-3. Look at MVP's upgrades. They're not very good, but he's got a lot of units, and this is his strength, man.
Yeah.
His macro's absolutely beautiful, but the Vikings being picked off means these Colossus are just going to be so strong in this position.
Exactly. And he had to add on the second star box. He realized, well, I've just lost 3 Vikings here. I need that count up as quickly as possible. Otherwise, he's just going to roll over him.
ShoWTimE, oh, he's got Storm. I thought he was actually going to go for this major 3-3 timing, but getting Storm's fine. Adding on Archons a little bit early is fine as well. Is a little bit defensive. He doesn't necessarily need Storm, but so far, when he gets to 3-3, look at the advantage he will get. He will fight with 3-3 upgrades on his army due to having double forge so early on against MVP, who will only have +2 attack and +1 armor. This is such an advantage to take any fight with. It's massive.
It really is. And look at this, ShoWTimE moving out once again to try and see if the Vikings have strayed elsewhere, but they haven't for now. They're sticking with the army, making sure he doesn't give him any opportunities to snipe out those again. And that's absolutely important here for MVP, because if ShoWTimE got a few more, again, these 5 Colossi now, it's too much.
What's going on with the game?
Oh no, it's me.
Oh, Chloris, what's going on with the game? Oh, Chloris, what's going on?
Ah! Oh, it's you as well.
What's going on, Chloris?
I think we're dead.
What's going on, Chloris?
I think we're dead. I don't know. I think it's balked, is what I want to say.
Chloris, this is a very tense game right now, and ShoWTimE could be about to be MVP, and we don't have any connection.
And we are disconnecting, apparently. So, not sure what's happening currently on our PCs, guys, but I really want to know what happens in this game.
I don't know what's going on. I actually don't know.
I can hear cool noises of...
Yeah, I mean, I still have internet access.
Whoa, really?
But I still... Oh, I'm back in. I'm back in. Chloris.
Oh, I'm back in as well.
Okay, we're back in.
Oh, sick.
Go. Whoa.
All right, let's go.
Oh, that was stressful.
Jeez.
Stressful. Whoa, stressful.
Okay, so...
My heart was beating so fast right then.
Yeah, it would have... To them, it would have shown that both of us were lagging, so they know it was an internet problem. Anyway,
Whoa.
So we are back in this game, guys.
3-3 is almost done.
Whoa, look at this. Also behind this, 2 extra robos going down here to try and deal with this. And, well, 3-3 is about to finish up as well. So adding on this is going to be such a strong army.
This is a very, very strong army here from both sides. 3-3 is about to finish now. This is the best time. It's hit right now. 2-1 upgrades for his opponent. And there's a War Prism on the other side too.
Exactly. This is a fantastic execution here by ShoWTimE, doing so much damage. Good storms as well. This BIOS being held back, but there's not that much to tank.
The Colossus naked.
Oh my god, he actually killed off quite a few of those with the Bio. The Zealots were not really that well spread out, but still ShoWTimE has taken a great supply advantage here.
2 Colossus remaining, but he has no observers, so the Ghosts are going to pick them off, and MVP just calls GG. ShoWTimE picks up game number 1 against MVP. What a game. Wow, what a game. What a start for ShoWTimE's debut in the Premier League, taking map number away from the the Season 1 champion.
We said it was his biggest performance or biggest game he's ever played, and to hit it off with a bang like that, wow.
Wow.
That was impressive, ShoWTimE.
Wow.
Got some chops on you.
Wow. Wow. I just can't believe that happened. But if we look at how it happened, because we can always look at the smaller details, it was very much so a very greedy opening from ShoWTimE. Double forge right from the get-go. Protoss players in today's age only get 1 for a very long time, if not 1 all game, because they need additional units. They need the tech switches faster. We had 2 forges very early, 3 gateways for up to 13, 40 minutes in the game. Incredibly greedy from ShoWTimE, but it paid off against MVP, who went for 3 command centers and couldn't punish a greedy build from his opponent. I would like to say that maybe ShoWTimE did get a little bit lucky with the builds there. Because if MVP had done anything else, I think he could have been in a lot of trouble, but it worked out, and he took game number 1.
Yeah, there wasn't really any room for MVP to go for the harassment. ShoWTimE was locked down quite nicely across those 3 bases. It looked a little dodgy at the main. I thought he was going to take some damage, but it was cleaned up.
He spread his units so well. Double Colossus, he put 1 Colossus on his third, the other one in his main, the right spread of units as well, and was able to defend. What I thought, as you thought, wasn't going to be defendable, but he pulled it off, man. And he opens up game number 1 against MVP.
Yeah.
If MVP doesn't make it out this group, Naniwa, TLO, and then
WCS
MVP.
Europe, man. Don't put anything past any result. Anything can happen here. We've already proven that in the past seasons. Whew. So anyway, Akelon Waste
in here. I mean, the disconnect.
Hot outside, it's hot here.
ShoWTimE doing his thing. Oh, sorry, I even hit my mic then.
Well, it's Akelon Wastes, and then if MVP does win this, we will get to see Frost, which would be nice. So also, again, I want 3 maps for each of these things because I don't want a short as day as yesterday.
Yeah,
I want
yesterday was very, very short. Very, very short.
All right, guys. So countdown's begun for game number 2. You should definitely tweet us, guys, and tell us what's going on here because we're as bedazzled as you.
We're having a lot of fun here, of course. This is WCS Europe Premier League. We always have fun casting these games. We got awesome games, awesome players, but are we going to see the upset of the century here? This would be absolutely amazing.
It would be crazy.
ShoWTimE was be able to beat MVP. And MVP would go on a 3-game loss streak against European Protoss players. HasYobs, Grubby, and ShoWTimE.
And I think this is a pretty good map for ShoWTimE as well to do it if he wants to take it 2-0. We'll see now as we jump into game number 2, spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our blue Terran, representing Korea. An incredible miracle. He is MVP. And down to the bottom right, we have our red Protoss looking for one of the biggest upsets we've seen in WCS Europe. It is ShoWTimE.
Is it going to happen?
It could.
I'm getting a little bit nervous because I'm a massive MVP fan. Anybody that's seen
Everyone
me...
is,
All right,
come on.
everyone's a massive MVP fan. I got to touch his 4 badges at the Season 1 finals, if you
did?
remember to that. Oh, it
There's a
was
GIF.
amazing.
There's a GIF and everything.
Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, I loved it. I loved every second of that. It was very awkward, but I'm king of awkward. And it was a moment that a lot of people are like, yeah, it was awkward. It's really weird. But if you had the chance...
You'd do it.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
You touch his 4 pins.
He was a bit bemused by that.
Well,
like, look on his face was like...
That's the thing I found, because I'm really close friends with a lot of Koreans. You know, MC, MVP, Jaedong, like really close with these guys. But I think the funny thing is that they find Korean culture is so different.
Oh, yes, massively.
For me to be like, hey, can I touch your 4 pins?
They're just like...
When I was having a couple of drinks with Jaedong after Season 2,
Yeah.
and he was taking the mick out on me. He was saying that casters were better than me, and I was saying that Bomber's better than him, and all these things at the after party.
Yeah.
It's just like nobody really does that in Korea. And I think they find it really funny when people just are so crazy and do stupid stuff like me.
They seem very conservative and very formal over there. So, anyways, on to this game. Can ShoWTimE do it, Apollo? Can he best MVP?
Well, this time MVP's opened up with a gas, and he's saying, you will not, sir, play the same style you just played. And with this opening here, he can open for a repeat, he can put the pressure on, and it looks like MVP may go back to the bread and butter build that we know that MVP likes, which is the Reaper, followed by Reactor maybe here, followed into the Factory, depending on how fast he wants to get the Factory here, and just going for the usual mine and marine play.
Do you know what's really cool about the setup from ShoWTimE? It's that if there's a Reaper jumping in, it's going to come around here, right? Or, well, it could arguably go down here, but normally it goes over here. So he jumps up over here, he comes around, he tries to kill stuff, he tries to go around the mineral line, and boop, he runs into a big, horrible dead end. That's pretty cool by ShoWTimE.
Yeah, and another really good advantage of having your buildings placed on this side is imagine if MVP goes drop heavy.
Yeah.
With all the structures thrown to the right-hand side of your base, it's not going to be as easy for him to pick off key structures. So the way that ShoWTimE's playing, we'll probably see the majority of his gateways and tech structures, more importantly tech structures, thrown against the wall on the right-hand side.
Ooh, I'm surprised he brought down 2 probes here. I guess he wanted to kill it off a little bit quicker because he skipped the Zealot, but in the process, he's going to lose those probes to this Reaper. Mothership Core, are you going to save the second one? No, you are not.
And you can get out there as well and save the Reaper. So 2 probe kills already. Good start here for MVP. But there is a probe hidden for ShoWTimE inside the main base. This is purely for additional scouting.
Yeah.
He's going to go in and just be like, all right, now, did he add on that factory? Did he expand? Because sometimes players go Reaper expand and then throw down the 3rd command center, playing with their opponent's mind, and because they usually expect the factory. So in this case, ShoWTimE will be able to confirm that the factory's there. We'll probably see a forge this time.
Certainly may do here, as ShoWTimE here, just cleaning up this, but unfortunately, again, because he did skip that Zealot, it's going to take a little bit longer than it normally would do. And behind this, adding on 2 extra gateways? Well, where is he? Oh, okay, he cancelled one.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the... well, the thing... Okay, so what it is that he basically, when you have your Nexus delayed, is you want to try to keep your minerals floating around the 400 mark. If, for example, they go up to 550, you throw a gateway down because why not, right? Why would you go 550 minerals, throw the Nexus down, and then have 150 minerals in the bank that you're going to spend anyway? So you just kind of keep your money low. Just... You get delayed, you're annoyed by it, but just keep the money low and keep it floating on 400 so you can throw down that immediately. And
MVP does get confirmation of Robo Facility as well, so he knows what's up. This probe has got a good scouting route off on his opponent, sees the starport, sees the factory.
Perfect.
He may have seen a Widow Mine. I wonder if he did or not.
He doesn't matter if he's seen it or not. He's going to know that this is exactly what it's for. Actually, no, I'll go back to that. Sometimes there are Hellions.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are Hellions. But we'll see if... I mean, there's no Forge coming down. So if there's no Forge coming down, what he's going to have to use is additional observers. So maybe 3 observers, 1 in each mineral line. He's already got 2 Stalkers. He's going to have to be careful with these Widow Mines coming in.
He certainly is, you're right. Well, we'll see how MVP wants to utilize these. Probe is sneaking around to the top side here for ShoWTimE, maybe for just some additional scouting once again, whilst his gateways do finish up here. Just warping in a few sentries.
But
so
the problem is... oh, actually, this...
Sentries.
Yeah, sentries are okay here because he's going to have to start banking energy. He may try to do something aggressive with them as well.
Yeah.
Actually, now thinking about it a little bit more.
But a second observer at the same time.
Yeah, he needs a lot. He needs like 3 observers. He needs 1 in each mineral line. But the problem is he doesn't know where the units are going to come to. He's guessed right because he may have actually seen the medevac cross his path with the probe that was on the other side of the map. What he may do here, and yes, gateways are coming down. So what he's going to do is defend his natural, defend against the Widow Mines and Marines, and then counterattack because Stim is naturally delayed when someone goes for a factory like this.
Yeah, it's a very good idea here for ShoWTimE, and he can clean this up pretty easily. The Widow Mine's been seen, and it is not allowed to connect with anything, so very good cleanup.
And Photon Overcharge activated, and MVP did not see the additional gateway. He did not see the additional gateway, and we're going to see more come down. For absolutely sure see more come down. He's going to try to counterattack here. He's already moving across the other side of the map. MVP, I don't think he realizes yet. I don't think he realizes yet. And if he doesn't realize, we could see a 2-0 from ShoWTimE against MVP. This is very smart play coming from ShoWTimE. He stopped his probes at 35. This is it.
Yeah, he could actually do a lot of damage here. He still does not know. He doesn't know at the front. He's rallying all his units up there. Of course he is naturally. But at the same time, no additional bunkers. This could go down so fast.
Oh, man, I'm actually thinking ShoWTimE's about to beat MVP. MVP can't do anything with his medivacs. He hasn't scouted. He's got no idea. He hasn't scanned like the previous game.
Stim's so far away.
ShoWTimE's going to look at the ramp and is going to go, oh, I can beat him. I can beat him.
Oh. This could be ShoWTimE, ladies and gentlemen. It really could, as these Zealots are going to tank so much damage here as well. He's going to go up the ramp. He has a lot of energy. He throws up the Guardian Shield to soak up a lot of that, and he was not expecting this. Good force fields. Seal off that bunker. That's going to go down as well. These SCVs come off the line. They have to absolutely fight here, but still doing a lot of damage. The Zealots have been cleaned up. Not much bio died off.
Great micro there from MVP, picking up 3 or 4 Marines in the medivac. He did have a medivac out, which is helping this, but ShoWTimE's going to come in before Stim is ready. MVP, can he hold?
He's going to try his best, as he possibly could do. There's still not many Zealots left here to actually tank. He needs more. He needs more. And now he's having to deal with a drop at home, which he does push away, but that was at the sacrifice of, well, Photon Overcharge. He's chrono boosting the gateways.
35 seconds left until Stim is ready. If Stim is ready, I feel MVP will actually hold this. More and more Stalkers getting warped in because he wants to pick off the Marauders just immediately here.
Oh yeah, certainly does. The SCVs come off the line well to try and build some stuff. Yeah, this is going to be really, really difficult here. The Stalkers are actually killing off the Marauders, and with those dead, he can micro a little bit better against these Marines. Still a lot of firepower.
Stim is almost ready. MVP's holding at the moment. If Stim completes here with SCVs being pulled off as well, he's going to clear this up.
He needs more Zealots, just something to try and tank. He's going to warp in more Stalkers though, so he can be kind of a little bit more surgical about this, not just a brute
Stim
force.
is ready. Uh-oh, Stalkers are in trouble.
Run away for now, Stalkers. Gonna have to get away as quickly as possible. Army supplies 29 to 31. Not over just yet.
Not over just yet, but +1 attack is about 20 seconds away as well. And then you've got combat shield, which is 40 seconds away. Bunkers are coming in now. Every second that ticks by here, MVP's going to be able to defend.
MVP didn't know anything about this until the very last second, and now he's not only holding back at home, but he's pressuring once again in the main. Photon Overcharge is there, but the Zealots absolutely disintegrate under the firepower of this bio.
3 medivacs now, man. 3 medivacs. This isn't going to be breaking. MVP holds. He looks like he's going to hold. The bunkers are about to complete as well.
Yeah, trying to kill off the Marauders, but in the end, the Stalkers are just taking too much damage while all of those shots are raining down onto the Marauders. And, well, it looks like those Marines will have to pull back again.
Yeah, great hold by MVP. I thought, probably ShoWTimE thought as well, that he could win right there. It was very close to happening. Very, very close indeed. But MVP somehow, some way makes the hold and now has +1 attack. And what we're going to see from him very soon is to unload these bunkers, and he will go across the other side of the map, and he will look for vengeance.
He will, and it's going to be difficult for ShoWTimE to hold off. He's trying to tech up in, I would say, a little bit of a desperate move here to try and find an alternate route through this game. But I guess technically, if he could get Colossi out, that would be great. But I don't know if MVP is going to allow that because he is on the warpath.
Well, this is the vengeance warpath right now. He's dropping inside the main base, and that is so good. Really distracting his opponent's attention from the main battle, the main attack, which was about to win the game for ShoWTimE. MVP just makes it happen, man. Just makes it happen. It's really a brilliant thing to see when Terran players make holds that seem like it's all over.
Yeah.
And now this counter-attack, there's not... The Colossus is like the savior, but it's nowhere near.
I mean, ShoWTimE knew he was against a timer. There's the scan here for MVP to actually see what is up there. There is force fields, and it does seal a few of these units out. So not too bad in the grand scheme of things, but we'll have to pull away for now.
Yeah, as soon as these force fields are down, MVP's going in, man. He's going in. There's a photon overcharge seconds away.
A lot of firepower here for MVP as he just pushes on through. One Colossus does come out, maybe to try and save for the day, but still not really getting the full connections that it would want to on this army. Army supplies, in fact, 58 to 31 right now, killing off the Nexus.
Yeah.
Nail in the coffin here. MVP in game number 2, looking great.
Awesome counterattack here from MVP, as expected after making such a hold here. Even if the Colossus doesn't fall, which it probably will do momentarily, MVP has just delivered a strike which cannot be recovered from here. This is too big. There's a third command center on the way. More and more units are going to pour out from MVP's main base, and we can see they're all ready to go, and ShoWTimE sees the units as well. GG MVP, a god among men.
He's pretty good, man. What I wanted to say was, ShoWTimE going for that push, he obviously knew that, Stim was delayed. He had to hit now, quick to try and deal with that. But had he had the eyes of us, and knowing that Stim was quite a way off, maybe waiting for another round of Zealots would have even pushed it over tipping point to win that game. But you can't know those things fully as a player in that situation.
Yeah, fantastic hold by MVP. And the one beautiful thing that I saw amongst the action was as the bunker died with 4 Marines inside it, MVP boosted a medivac to pick up those 4 Marines that are on the other side of the force fields, pick them up, save them, drop them back down, and they continue to do damage. Usually those Marines just instantly die after the bunker falls. But MVP, what a man. What a man.
Very well done. And now we get to see Frost. Yay!
Yeah, they get to see Frost. And, it really depends on how much they've both played on this map. I think ShoWTimE probably would have played a lot on it. I don't know how much MVP's played on it. We don't know. Nobody knows how much he's played on it. But if they're only practices on ladder, then they're going to have played it quite a lot. It's in the ladder rotation. No one's going to veto it considering it's in the WCS map pool. Game 3 match on between these players.
Yeah, certainly so here. So, as I said before, you don't see these maps too much just yet. So it's going to be very interesting to see what goes on here. I'm wondering if, obviously, a lot of people out there have played these newer maps and know a few of the nuances to them. We can maybe try and guide people through a little bit of what it was Polar Night we saw mostly yesterday.
Yes.
Right. So that was our previous other new map that we have in here, as well as Yonsu we have. But again, that we don't see too much.
That's right. And then Akalon Wastes, the 4th map that comes into this season, which is a map that we all know very well. It's been around for a long time, but wasn't actually active in Season 2 in the Europe Premier League or in the Challenger League or in the European scene at all. But it's now being brought back in. And I think one of the major things is because Akalon Wastes, I think the main reason it was taken away is that because it was slightly more favored towards Protoss and the later games become more stale. But as the map developed, we saw later games being played out quite fun and quite active, and also Protoss players, after having a rough Season 2 when it comes to the maps, not come to results though, there was Star Station that's been eliminated, Neoplanet S eliminated, so Protoss players having a bit of a better map pool this time. But as we saw in Group A, both Protoss players were knocked out, Naniwa and Todd.
Yeah, only one has advanced on thus far from the 4 that have represented in Codes in WCS Season 3 here. So now, Frost is our map. We're going to have ShoWTimE versus MVP. 1-1 apiece here, guys. Wasn't expecting ShoWTimE to show as a resilient and stronger performance as this, but his reads have been pretty much on point. He's doing very well. We'll see if he can take it 2-1 or if MVP can.
Mind games. It's all about mind games. What's going to happen in this next set? What builds are going to be chosen? What strategies are going to be chosen? One map to decide it all.
Let's see now as we jump into game number 3. Spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, the man who tied things up after a great hold. He is MVP. And up to the top right, we have our red Protoss looking to cause a bit of an upset. He is ShoWTimE.
All right, big map here.
Oh yeah,
big map. It's the same size as Whirlwind. It's a little bit taller and a little bit thinner, but it's the same size, basically, as Whirlwind. Even though it looks big, does it look bigger than Whirlwind for you? For me, it does.
For me, I would say... I kind of think it looks the same size.
Yeah, it is the same size. But for me, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my, this is massive. But it's pretty much the same size as Whirlwind. The rotation of the bases kind of straightforward. As you can see, there's one straight down, one base to the natural there. There's a third base which is just around the corner at the north. and then there's a fourth base that's usually taken just slightly south here. And as the fourth base gets taken, both players are kind of expanding towards the middle of the map. So things get quite intensive as the game goes on. And then, of course, you get the complete other side of the map where you can have all your random 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th bases if it was ever to go that long. But it's a big, big map. It's big. So I'd expect macro builds from both players. Command Center first coming out here from MVP. But a gas has been taken here from ShoWTimE. A lot of Protoss players go one gateway, skip everything else, and get a Nexus really, really fast. Some players even go Nexus first.
And one thing I really like about this map as well is that you can split it, but you can split it 2 ways relatively easily. And generally, you would see the split down the middle vertically, but I've seen sometimes actually the split horizontally as well. So it's a cool map to actually play out. And I've only played, I would say, around 6 or 7 games on it, not too much. It's Yunzu and Polar Knight that I've had a little bit more experience on. So I'm too curious, because this is the first time I've cast this map.
Yeah, this map can be okay, it can be. It is kind of difficult for Protoss players to establish a third base on, because the natural's really easy to take. But if you look at the third base and where it's going to be for ShoWTimE, which is at the north, look how wide and open it is. There's a big open space. It's very far away from the natural. And any drops that happen from the third into the main, it's very difficult for a Protoss player to defend. Imagine if he's got all his units on the third. How the hell does he get all the way around, get back into the main base and defend? So depending on how this game plays out, if MVP is very aggressive in the mid-game, that's absolutely something that he'd want to exploit against ShoWTimE.
It certainly is. Good architecture for the Terran if he wants to try and deal with that. But beside that, MVP here, he's setting himself up nicely. Second barracks here, just to accrue quite a lot of Marines early on, and then give him a little bit more power when he transitions into a smaller mid. But now, ShoWTimE is going for the scout. We're going to have a look. It's important to note that this scouting pattern here that we're seeing from ShoWTimE is because it's not cross positions enforced, I believe. So on Frost. So you can technically spawn vertically from one another, or horizontally from one another, or cross.
All right, well, we do have the robotics facility coming down here for ShoWTimE, and very normal setup from him. I thought that we may see a faster Nexus, because he is playing against Command Center first, which he won't even know he's playing against. He's got absolutely no idea. So, unfortunately for ShoWTimE, on a big map like this, and a late scout, he's got zero input to what MVP's doing. Absolutely nothing. This could be reactor play, it could be factory play, it could be 3 command centers, it could be just 1. He's got no idea. So he's going to have to play a very generic opening.
Yeah.
So if that's generic, I think we'll just see additional gateways come down. I don't think he'd risk it. I don't think he'd risk it. But I guess, you know, people like to gamble, man.
People do. Is ShoWTimE a gambler? That's what we'll have to see. He's got his observer on the way, and we'll see where he wants to go from this. I would like to see a forge opener, but he's just going to go for the gateways. That SCV did poke forward, only really saw the Nexus, 2 Stalkers. Didn't see any other units, as they're not present currently.
And MVP's playing for actually a faster medevac game here. He's got 2 barracks into a factory. Usually you see 3 barracks, but with a faster factory means a faster starport and then faster medivacs. Look at that high-level knowledge. And with faster medivacs, he's going to be able to drop a lot more. So he probably, because he likewise doesn't really know much about his opponent, may be saying, if you play similar to game number 1, this is a big map, this is the bigger map of all 3 maps we've played, if you play like game number 1, my medivacs will absolutely crucify you. That seems to be what MVP is aiming towards.
Yeah, certainly. That's something here that MVP could quite easily do, especially with the map as well. As you pointed out at the very beginning, the ability to exploit the positioning between the third and the main. Harder for ShoWTimE here to spread himself out to the point where he might even want static defense in 1 or 2 of these mineral lines, similar to what we were seeing Todd and Naniwa do on maps like Belshire Vestige. Not exactly a huge map, but still something, interesting. He dropped the scan and only sees 1 forge.
Yeah, he sees 1 forge, so he doesn't know if it's 2, but he sees 3 gateways kind of down early on. I think that he won't really care about that scan too much. He may suggest that there might be another forge towards the right-hand side of it, maybe, because it is placed like that. But whatever the case, even if he saw double forge, it's not like he's changing anything. He's already got his build. He's already got his strategy, right?
Yeah.
And it's been spotted by ShoWTimE. So he's going to have to focus a lot more on units earlier on. in this game because he's seen that it was a faster factory than usual.
Yeah, and now he's sending out his probe to the bottom position here to throw down these pylons. These pylons are super important because that's exactly what he's reacting to. You say, you know, he sees that factory, it's flying out. He knows that the starport's down. He knows that medevacs could be on the way. So these precautionary measures like this pylon, like the observer moving up to the top left-hand corner, are going to try and keep him as defended as possible.
Yeah, he's up to a very good probe count now, and usually what we see is Protoss players stop building probes because, especially against the style he's seen, is that he's going to have to really defend well. So cutting probes does help with building a lot of units around here. And to be honest, he's not going to grab a third base anytime soon. If he tries to take it, it's going to get cancelled. So any additional probes from now on do help out if he was to take a third base soon because he can transfer a better amount to that third and get it saturated earlier. But to be honest, I probably would have stopped probing here, because he's going to have to deal with a lot of units, a lot of pressure from MVP. Every unit he can get needs to help him.
Certainly so. And, well, he sees MVP's movement out into the middle of the map. MVP might have spotted that, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure MVP would have saw that observer.
Yeah, because it was moving. It's a little bit easier to see of them if they are indeed moving. So now MVP is just going to land himself on that third base. ShoWTimE's observer's well positioned, though, to spot any drops that would go along that path as well. And again, he knows his opponent's threatening, so he has to make sure he's kept intact.
Yeah, another scan there reveals the double forge and the Twilight Council already. MVP now sees that this is, again, a greedy build from his opponent. So is MVP going to try to do anything? Defending 2 bases of the Protoss is really easy, by the way. You got the Mothership Core. It was easy in Wings of Liberty, but now with the Mothership Core, it's even easier, of course. So MVP decides to scan his army and sees no observer with it. And is going to drop very heavily into the main base, but it will get spotted here, I think.
This observer,
but look how far the units are out of position, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they're at the third location right now. This observer...
Oh, it sees it.
Oh, yep, he sees it. He knows exactly what's going on, and this army is going to have to reposition itself. He leaves the smallest chunk of army at the third location, but this is going to be difficult. Oh, actually, no, the Stalkers should be able to pick up a lot, but still, that's a lot of army trying to drop.
MVP's stuck in the main base. He has to make this work. He's stuck in there.
Thought an overcharge here, killing a few of these units off. Those units are well protected from Zealots, and so the Zealots at the front aren't going to do too much, and he's going to get a Forge very quickly, but he just finished the 1-1 upgrade, so it's not going to be the biggest hit of all time. That was a massive loss.
That was terrible. That was really bad. That was really bad. Look at the units lost tab.
Where we at?
To kill a Forge and to slow down an upgrade that's wasn't even... It was barely started to lose all those units.
Yeah.
That was bad for MVP. Look at the supply difference. His opponent's got a third Nexus almost completed, and MVP isn't even mining from his third yet.
It's very rare you see a Terran go just straight for 4 medevacs in the same direction, just trying to drop down that alleyway. But that was bad. So much.
I really don't think that he was looking or concentrating on the drop too much, because he should have flicked back as soon as he saw the Stalkers in position.
Yeah.
And then he lost everything. I'm pretty sure that he also didn't know that it had been spotted so early, so he wasn't expecting all those units in position. But, oh, boy, this is a fantastic lead here for ShoWTimE.
Exactly. I mean, he just takes his third base now. I mean, it's been up and running for a second.
Tab.
Yeah, it's like he takes this, and now he knows how defended and safe he is. So ShoWTimE now is playing his game. An MVP can't do anything about it for a long time.
It's a large chunk of units. There's no timings he can hit upon losing all those units, so he has to play the game late here. He's playing the game from behind because of the upgrades. As you can see, much more favor towards ShoWTimE, who's gotten away with double forge again here. He can't be pressured at this point because he's got 3 Colossus. He's got, you know, a decent amount of units for what MVP has. If MVP had all those units, he probably could attack right now and do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But he's got half the army size.
He drops a scan as well and doesn't see his opponent's army at all. ShoWTimE's on the movement once again with these Stalkers to try and catch any stray medevacs, any stray Vikings, anything he can possibly gain, but has to run away for now. And it's a little bit of a risk, but not too much of a risk, as they can always blink away from any assault that they would want to go for. So it's a nice move out from ShoWTimE. I like it.
I mean, he's in position to slam dunk the series at the moment.
Yeah. He really is. This could go ShoWTimE's way, guys, and MVP could be in the losers match here. Good scan, sees exactly what his opponent has. He has 9 Vikings. That's quite a lot of firepower against the 5 Colossi, but they don't have upgrades, I don't believe.
They don't. I mean, 5 Colossus is a lot, though. That's a lot of Colossus. There's no Storm being researched at all. And right now, it looks like ShoWTimE's the one that's getting frisky. He's going to start to move across the other side of the map. MVP could do all right, though. with the high amount of Vikings he has, 9, with 3 more about to pop out, so that's 12. Good at math. And I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about this moving out here by ShoWTimE. It could be risky if he walks into a very spread out MVP.
It's phenomenal how well MVP has actually macroed off the back of this.
Okay, MVP needs to spread so thin here to really minimize the Colossus splash damage.
And he has 3 ghosts incorporated into this as well, so those Archons won't last for too long if he wants to go for the engagement. Drops the scan, sees the army moving back with a probe heading into the middle, but he's throwing down the pylon. So he probably knows that his opponent's still in the middle. But actually, there's pylons everywhere across the map for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, he's really nice. He's got full coverage of everything. He's got so many harassment points here. If MVP walks out, there's a pylon on the left-hand side that could warp in to go get that third base.
This is ShoWTimE like soft containing his opponent, because look at ShoWTimE's vision on the map right now with an establishment of a 4th base, and then look at MVP's vision on the map. He knows very, very little about what's going on. So ShoWTimE's playing this out a little bit longer
and he's
trying to get
so smart. With this kind of sitting there, he's going to drop a warp prism inside the main base and say, all right, if you're going to sit there, okay, MVP's actually going to go. MVP's going to go now.
Ooh.
If he can get the right EMPs.
Oh, he's bringing SCVs as well here. Sacrificing a few to try and break out of this location. And ShoWTimE does get pushed back for now.
All right, well, he's got the Warp Prism headed towards the main base. Time Warp slow down MVP's march as he knows this Warp Prism could do a lot. MVP's in the middle of the map with everything.
Oh, he has nothing at home.
He's got a lot of SCVs with this.
He could warp in a lot of Zealots here as well if he wanted to.
Oh, of course he's going to. No, he can't actually. He's got 200 supply.
Oh, yeah. So he only warps in 1 at the end.
MVP's going to go. This is it. MVP's going to go. The Storms need to land here. The Storms need to land against these SCVs. The Ghosts likewise need to get the EMPs down.
Oh, that's a lot of Vikings now.
This game's going to end in 30 seconds. One way or the other.
Yeah. That was not too bad a Storm actually clipping a lot of those Vikings, but he separates them up into 2 clumps. Very, very meticulous and impressive there, and separates them up so well. He needs to make sure that happens for MVP. He needs to come in from all angles to kill off those Colossi.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're about to have the fight. Where are the Ghosts?
He's going to try and go for this. A lot of units coming up for the back here. Kill off 1 Colossus very fast. And actually so much firepower here from MVP, but will it be enough? As the Colossi are actually dying off left, right, and center. Wow, MVP retains so much of his army. 85 to 58 right now.
The reinforcements with so many gateways and such a good production, he should be able to clean it up with reinforcements. All the Archons are coming in for the used High Templars. All he needs to do is hold. All he needs to do is hold. He'll beat MVP right here, right now.
He's going to do it. He is going to do it. He's warping in Zealots as well. And MVP is on the retreat. His income behind this is shattered. He has nothing left here. ShoWTimE has held. ShoWTimE is on the march. He's going to do this.
Yeah, that's it. SCV count is 27. A counterattack's coming in. There's a bunch of pylons absolutely everywhere. He's going to come for the kill. He's got 2,500 minerals in the bank. He can just build Zealots and win with Zealots at this point.
And there you go. GG, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, ESC ShoWTimE takes the series 2-1 off MVP.
Season 1 champion is now in the losers match of this group and will play a TVT against No Name down there. But ShoWTimE has just beaten MVP. And I had a feeling today, I had this feeling inside that as simple as this group looks, with 2 clear favorites, Vortex and MVP, and 2 clear underdogs in the likes of No Name and ShoWTimE, something could happen today.
It certainly could. We will, I think, well, who do we have? Technically, we could quite easily see an upset now. We could very much see an upset. This is going to be an interesting group. We already thought it would be at the very beginning because ShoWTimE and No Name are 2 relatively unknown commodities that a lot of people don't know too much about. But as I said before, in the German scene, ShoWTimE has been doing all right. And it's shown here today.
He did very, very well here today. And MVP and his fans need to cross their fingers that Vortex beats ShoWTimE, because I'm pretty sure if ShoWTimE beats Vortex and Vortex goes to the final match, Vortex would clear up MVP, I would have to fear.
Yeah, he's now 8-1 in series in the WCS system against Terrans. He's so scary against Terran. But anyway, guys, after the break, we are going to have Vortex versus ShoWTimE to determine who goes on to the round of 16.